and you guys are doing great. And I hope that whatever PDFs I have uploaded till now, every one of you has read it. Okay, so yes, and you guys need to read it. Why? Because whatever PDFs that I'm adding, okay, the PDFs, they are going to have certain terms and terminologies and the factual content along with the conceptual content that is very much relevant for your examinations. Okay, so up till now, guys, what did we discuss in the medieval India? Okay, so we have already discussed about the early medieval, that is the invasion of the Islamic dynasties in India. Means who were the Islamic people who are going to invade the Indian subcontinent. Firstly is going to be the Muhammad bin Qasim, then there is going to be the Ghazni, and then after that there is Khuri, and after that there is going to be the start of the Delhi Sultanate. And in the Delhi Sultanate, we are going to see that the northern India and more or less even the northern part of southern India, it is also going to be controlled by the Delhi Sultanate dynasties. Okay, that is till the time period of Laud and Khilji, and after him there is going to be a bit of disintegration that is going to happen. Okay, if you have read the PDF, you might have understood from that aspect itself. So here we looked into how the Delhi Sultanate is going to rule the Indian subcontinent, how many dynasties were actually there in the Delhi Sultanate, and how come, or what were the contributions of the rulers who were there in the Delhi Sultanate, and how was there a transition from one dynasty to another dynasty. We have already spoken of that. If I talk about the chronology, we had already seen that the first dynasty was the slave dynasty. After that is going to be the Khalji, then the Tughlaq, then the Sayyid, and then finally the Lodi. And after the Lodi, in 1526, the first battle of Panipat is going to be fought, wherein a foreign, okay, wherein another foreigner is going to come into India, that is Ziauddin, the Zahiruddin Babar. Okay, Zahiruddin Babar, he is going to come into India and he's going to defeat the Lodhis, which were the Afghans. Okay, so here Babar, then after defeating the Lodhis in the first battle of Panipat, he is going to initiate the Mughal Empire in India. Okay, so that is how we had looked into everything. Now guys, if I talk about, okay, if I talk about the chronology, okay, the chronology of the Mughal Empire. Okay, so the first ruler here, it is going to be the Babar. Okay, who is going to come in 1526, and he's going to fight the first battle of Panipat. After that, he's going to be expanding in India, and we look into the expansion. Okay, and that is very much relevant for the SSC and the railways. Okay, so Babar is going to come, he's going to expand in India, and after his expansion, what is going to happen is that um, he is going to pass away in 1530. Okay, so if I just talk about the chronology of the rulers, so what we can understand is the first ruler is going to be Babur, second ruler after him is going to be his son Humayun, and after Humayun there is going to be the third ruler is Akbar. After Akbar there is going to be the fourth ruler is Jahangir. After Jahangir, the fifth ruler is Shah Jahan. So if I just write a chronology here, let me just write it in a fresh page. Okay, so here if I make a fresh page, okay, so what can we understand in the chronology? The first one is Babur. Okay, then after him his son Humayun is going to take the throne. Here guys, you will have to keep in mind the chronology and what duration were these people there. After Humayun there is going to be his son Akbar, then his son, that is Jahangir, and then his son, that is Shah Jahan, and then finally his son is going to be there, that is Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb. Now, after Aurangzeb, now see, whenever we talk about the time period of the Delhi Sultanate, so we are basically taking the time from 1526, okay, 1526 AD till 1707 AD. Now, why are we taking the time period of 1707? Is because the particular Aurangzeb, he is going to pass away in 1707. So Aurangzeb is considered to be the last powerful ruler, and because he is considered in that manner, that is why we are considering the end of the Mughal age to be in the 1707. However, this does not mean that the Mughal line or the Mughal heredity, okay, or the Mughal bloodline or lineage, it was ended with Aurangzeb. No. So the Mughal heredity, that is from 1707, okay, from 1707 till 1857, okay, or 1858. It is till this point of time that the Mughal lineage is going to go on. Mughal heredity will be there. But the rulers between this point of time, that is 1707 to 1758, the rulers between this 150 years of the Mughal lineage, they are not going to be that powerful compared to Aurangzeb. Okay, so that is why we are considering the end of the Mughal rule in 1707. Why? Because whenever we talk about an end of the dynasty, an end, it can basically be an end, it can happen or it can be understood from various parameters. The first aspect that we can understand in the end is when the power of the dynasty is over. Although the lineage is there, but the power of the dynasty, if it is getting over, then the end can happen. Apart from that, when the lineage, okay, when the lineage itself is over, then that particular dynasty is going to end. Okay, so, or when the last powerful ruler is going to die, or when the last powerful ruler is going to die. Okay, that is known as the end. So if we talk about the Mughals, okay, so the last powerful ruler died in 1707. That is why we consider it as the end. Apart from that, when we talk about the lineage in 1858 AD, the Mughal lineage, it was over. Okay, and then when we talk about the power, okay, so in the power, nearly around the 1750s. Okay, so the power of the Mughals, it was over. So more or less, if we understand, that is going to be the understanding of the Mughals. Yes, good afternoon, Madhavan. So that is going to be the understanding of the Mughals. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to understand each of the rulers chronologically. Now what is going to happen is that when we talk about Babur, okay, so Babur, he is going to be, belonging to the Uzbekistan region. His father belonged to the Uzbek region, okay, and Babur also belonged to the Uzbek region. But prior to him belonging to the Uzbek region, who were the ancestors of Babur? How did the dynasty or how did the lineage of Babur come into existence? So the ancestors of the Babur's lineage, they were basically a mixture of both the groups, the Mongols as well as the Turks. When we talk about the Mongols, it is going to be the Genghis Khan, okay, the Genghis Khan lineage. And when we talk about the Turks, it is going to be the Amir Timur. Okay, Amir Timur. That is going to be the Turk. So basically, the particular Babur, he was a mixture of both of these particular, okay, both of this particular lineages. That is, the daughter of the Mongol lineage was married to the male of the Timur lineage, and that is how the progeny happened. Okay, so here you can actually see that the father of the father of Zahiruddin Babur, his father Umar Sheikh Mirza, he was married to Nigar Khanum, that was the female of the Mongol lineage, and on the particular lineage, the Babur is going to be brought. Now, this particular whole timeline is based on the Akbar Nama, okay, based on Akbar Nama and Tariq e Rashaidi. Now you need to remember these names. Okay, now when we talk about the Mughals, okay, so the initiation of the Mughals are what? When we talk about their original home, so it is going to be in the Uzbek region, that is in the Samarkand area. Okay, so now when we are talking about them in the Samarkand area, there is going to be certain internal tensions in the Samarkand area, that is in the Uzbekistan, where his family members, that means the relatives of Babur, they are going to depose him of his throne, and he is going to be left homeless, wherein he is going to start finding a new home, and for that new home, he is going to come towards India. And when he is coming towards India, in the previous session only, we had discussed that he is coming towards India, and on what basis he came. One was the uncle of the Ibrahim Lodi, that is Daulat Khan Lodi. He is going to invite him, and there was also a controversial thing about the particular Rana Sangha. However, we are not yet sure that Rana Sangha actually invited him or no. That is another aspect. Now, Babur came into India. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in 1526. That is what we have understood up till now. So there are certain facts that we can understand. Now, the first one is that, just let me read this aspect to you. His original name is Zahiruddin Babur. His mother's side was Genghis Khan. Father's side was the Timur aspect. His father was Umar Sheikh Mirza, and they were the ruler of Fargana in the Uzbekistan area. However, he was removed from that area prior to 1526. Prior to 1526, okay, he wanted to attack in means he attacked India. Keep this in mind. Examination will ask you that Babur for the first time attacked India in 1526. No, Babur prior to 1526, the Battle of Panipat, he had already done four expedition in the Indian subcontinent between 1519 to 1523, and after that he attacked Ibrahim Lodi in the first Battle of Panipat. Okay, now when Babur came into India, there were five prominent Muslim rulers in India. First is in Delhi, then in Gujarat, Malwa, Bengal, and Deccan. And contemporarily, there were Hindu rulers also. That is Rana Sangha and the Vijayanagar Empire. So these are the you need to keep them in mind. Now, when we talk the first battle of Panipat, it is going to happen on 21st April. Okay, 21st April 1526. That is one thing. Now, as soon as Babur is defeating Ibrahim Lodi, at that point of time, Babur, he is thinking that not only I want to defeat Ibrahim Lodi, but also I want to take much more control of the Indian subcontinent. However, at that point of time, there were various Rajputanas that were there, okay, who were a barrier in his expansion. So what happens is Babur, he is then going to think that if I have to expand in the area, I need to take in control the Rajputana area also. But they were powerful rulers. So what is happening is this man Babur, he is at that point of time, he is taking the title of Ghazi. Okay, just remember these points. Okay, now at that point of time, okay, in 1527 he is taking the title of Ghazi. Okay, Ghazi. That means he is going to take the title of Ghazi, and he is going to declare jihad. He is going to declare jihad. Jihad, that means he wanted to make the areas an Islamic land, and wanted to defeat me and wanted to defeat the. That means he is going to you know he is going to basically declare a holy war on the particular he is going to declare a holy war on the non-Muslims, and in that holy war he is going to be declaring it on whom? On the Rajputana people. Okay, so in that Rajputana, the first one he is going to be fighting a war is with Rana Sangha of Marwa, of Mewar. Okay, now this Rana Sangha, he was a very powerful person, and his name was comparatively very much well known in other areas also, because he was considered to be undefeatable. At that point of time, Babur, he is going to, for the first time, okay, it is said that Babur at this point of time is also going to use he is going to use the artillery within his particular army. Okay, that means in the war that is against Rana Sangha, Babur, he is going to use the artillery also. Now, in the artillery, the what I am talking about is the you might have heard the word which is called what do we call it? What do we call RDX? What do we call Barud? Just a minute. Explosives. Gunpowder. Yes, sorry, I forgot the word. Okay, yes. So it is basically considered that here in this particular battle against Rana Sangha, which was known as the Battle of Khanwa. okay, which was, remember these names, which was known as the Battle of Khanwa. It is said that Babur, he's also going to use gunpowder. Okay, he's going to introduce gunpowder, and because of this gunpowder he was able to defeat Rana Sangha. Now many of the Rajputs, they were sided with Rana Sangha, and at this point of time when Rana Sangha knew that he was being defeated, now there is a very big controversy that Rana Sangha was not defeated and all that, but we'll not go along with the controversies, we'll just understand it. Okay, now many of the Rajput rulers who were along with Rana Sangha, and Rana Sangha, when he came to know that he was about to be defeated, so he's going to tell these Rajput rulers to go to their kingdoms and protect their own dynasties at that point of time. And one of those rulers, okay, one of those rulers was Medini Rai. So Medini Rai, he is also going to go back to his particular dynasty, okay, and that is the Chanderi. And at that point of time, he's going to try and defend Chanderi, but he was unable to defend Chanderi because in the 1528 Babur, he's going to attack Chanderi and he's going to take control of Chanderi. So you need to remember the chronology. That is 1526, then 1527, then 1528, and then 1529. That means there were certain Afghans who were there in the Bihar area also, and it was considered that because the Lodis, they were the Afghans, and because Babur had defeated the Lodis who were the Afghans, so basically after the Lodis, means after Ibrahim Lodi, the actual heir or actual successor to the throne were the Afghans, but Babur is going to take the throne. So Babur, he is going to consider the Afghans to be his enemy on the throne, and he wanted to eliminate the Afghans so that in the future there is no dispute on the throne. So that is why in 1529 he is also going to attack the Afghans in the Bihar area. Remember, Afghans were in the Bihar, and then he's going to take control of that area. Now, how here by the time period of 1530, okay, this person, he was there for 4 years in India, and for all the 4 years he was majorly included in war. Okay, and he is not going to have that much of time to do any other activities. So at that point of time when we talk about his architecture, okay, if I'm talking about the initiatives of Babur, okay, Babur in architecture, what is going to be his architectural initiative? So he is not going to have that much of time to construct anything, but always remember, as I've told you in the previous session also, that in spite of not having that much of time, what happens is the rulers, okay, the rulers, they are going to at least construct one architecture, one type of architecture, that is going to be a mosque. Okay, that is going to be a mosque. So during his 4 years, Babur, he is going to construct two mosques. Okay, he is going to construct two mosques. Okay, however, those mosques, they are in today's time, they are in a debatable and a controversial position. Okay, so but apart from that, just remember that he's going to construct two mosques. And in that, apart from that, when we talk about architecture, Babur, he is also going to construct various gardens. Okay, various gardens and pavilions. However, none of these gardens and pavilions are, are present today in its original condition. Many changes have been done, many reforms have been done on it. Okay, now, all right, many reforms have been done in it, so just remember the architecture. Okay, now, apart from that, when we talk about paintings, okay, paintings in his, means what did he contribute? So now what do we know is that during this 4 years, he did not have that much of time to patronize that much of architectural development. Similarly, he's also not going to have that much of time to patronize the paintings development. So what he's going to do is, he's not going to patronize it to an all extent, okay, but he's going to patronize it in a little manner, means in a small manner. So there was a painter, okay, there was a painter during his point of time, his name was Behzad. Okay, his name was Behzad. So just remember this thing, okay, of Babur. Then after him, what is going to happen is, Babur, he's going to pass away in 1530. Okay, at that point of time, Babur, he's going to have four sons. Okay, and in that four sons, Humayun is the eldest, whereas the other three sons were known as Kamran, Ashkari, and Hindal. These were the other sons. Now because Humayun was the eldest son, what is going to happen is Humayun, he is going to become the next emperor. Okay, so Humayun, he is going to become the emperor in 1530. However, his dynasty is going to end in 1540 AD, but his dynasty is going to restart in 1555 and it is going to end in 1556, his tenure. Now you might be confused that how is such a thing happening. So what is the whole situation is that when Humayun is becoming the emperor in 1530, he is starting to rule at that point of time. Okay, but by the time period of 1540, he is removed from his empire, and another person known as Sher Shah Suri is going to establish the Sur dynasty. However, by 1555, Humayun is going to come back again. He's going to defeat the Sur Empire and he's going to re-establish the Mughal Empire in 1555. But he's going to die in a few months itself. That is in 1556. So that was his tenure, means from 1530 to 1540, then he was removed. So from 1540 to 1555, there was the Sur Empire of the Sher Shah Suri, and then he's going to again replace the Sur and then die in 1556. Okay, so this was the general understanding. Now, when we talk on Humayun, okay, so what is going to happen in the Humayun is that at that point of time, okay, just I'll just explain this thing to you. So at that point of time, what is going to happen here is that when Humayun is going to become the emperor of Delhi, there were two dynasties at that point of time. One in the Gujarat area, okay, and one here in the Bihar area. So and Humayun was here in Delhi. So in the Gujarat area, there is going to be the Gujarat rulers, that is Bahadur Shah. Whereas in the Bihar area, there is going to be Afghan ruler, and that Afghan ruler is Sher Shah. Sher Shah, he can also be known as Sher Khan. Okay, so he was the ruler. Now what is going to happen is that, now understand this chronology, guys. What is going to happen is that when Humayun is becoming the emperor, okay, Humayun's time, that is 1530, when he's becoming the emperor. Okay, this diagram is of 1530. So initially what he's doing, he is trying to expand towards the Gujarat area. Okay, here in the Gujarat area, he is trying to expand. Now when he is trying to expand in the Gujarat, okay, at that point of time, Bahadur Shah is ruling. Now Bahadur Shah, he was a regional ruler, so he knew that he is not that powerful. So because he is not that powerful at that point of time in India, that is during the 1530s and 40s, at that point of time in India, there was also one European in India, that is the Portuguese. Okay, so one European in India. Now you might be worried that when we are talking about Europeans, who are the Europeans? So when we talk about Europeans, so we'll talk about them in the modern Indian history. But here, when we talk about Europeans in the Indian subcontinent, there were 5 Europeans who came to India. Okay, the first one was Portuguese, the second one was Dutch, the third one was English, the fourth one was Danes, and the last one was French. These were the 5 Europeans who had come in the India, and the Portuguese, they had come during the time period of 1498 AD. The Dutch, they came during 1605. The English, they are going to come in 1608. Danes, they are going to come in 1616. French, they are going to come in 1667. So at this point of time, now you can understand that in the India, who was there? In India at that point of time, there is going to be the Portuguese. So these Portuguese, the Bahadur Shah is going to ask the help of the Portuguese in order to defeat Delhi, that is Humayun, who was trying to expand or attack the Gujarat area. Why? Because Gujarat area, it had a lot of ports and it wanted to control them. So here, Bahadur Shah knew of his weakness, so that is why he is going to ask the help of Portuguese, and Portuguese are going to help. But what is going to happen is that here Humayun, in the later on time period, he is not going to attack the area of Gujarat. Now there are various theories associated with this. Some are going to say that the Humayun attacked, but he failed. That is why he returned. Then Humayun attacked, but Bahadur defeated him. That is why he returned. So various and multiple theories, but that at the end, what do we understand is Humayun is going to be in Delhi, okay, and the Gujarat area it was being controlled by Bahadur. At the end, we'll understand that. Okay, even when there was even when there was an aspect of an attack, this was the ruling area. Now, after this, what we are understanding is that at that point of time only, that means by 1536, okay, this we are understanding by 1536, 1537, that Humayun he is trying to expand in this particular area. But at that point of time only, Sher Shah, okay, he is trying to expand towards Delhi. And at that point of time, Humayun is understanding that he, Sher Khan, might attack Delhi and he might defeat us. So, for protecting himself, for protecting himself, Humayun is going to fight with Sher Khan in 1539. Okay, so when in 1539 Humayun is fighting the first battle with Sher Khan, Humayun is being defeated. But after that, once again a battle was fought in 1540. So when another battle was fought in 1540, in this particular battle, Humayun he was defeated. And because Humayun was defeated, now Humayun had to run from this particular location. And Humayun is going to run, and here in one Rajputana court, there was this one court of Rajputana which was known as Amar Court. And this court here there was one particular king. His name was King Virasal. Okay, King Virasal. So here, after being defeated, okay, in 1540, Humayun is going to run from here and he's going to go to the court of King Virasal. Now, when he's going to his court, he is asking for asylum. The Rajputs, they knew that the Humayun and the Islamic people, they are not worthy of trust. And since long, the Rajputs, they had had a conflict with the Islamic rulers. But in spite of that, when Humayun is seeking asylum, the Rajput ruler King Virasal he is going to give the asylum. And in this asylum, that means from here, I will just write that information here. So from 1540 till 1542, Humayun is going to stay in the court of King Virasal. And it was in his court only that Akbar was born. Akbar was born. Now, when Akbar was born at this point of time, by 1542, what is going to happen is Humayun he is going to decide that he has stayed for a long time in the court of King Virasal. So now Humayun is thinking that he needs to shift. Otherwise, maybe these particular dynasties would attack King Virasal's court, which he did not want. At that point of time, he is going to have some contacts with the Shah rulers of Persia. Okay, so in the Persia, that is just remember here I will just okay. So at that point of time, okay, there were some rulers, okay, that is the Shah rulers of the Persia area, and there was one Shah. Shah is basically a title, okay, the king. Shah is basically a title in the Islamic world and connoted as a king. So the king of Persia area, that is Iran area, he was known as Tamashp. Tamashp. So Humayun is going to have a contact with Shah Tamashp, and he is going to have a word with Tamashp, and he is going to ask Tamashp that I want an asylum. So can I get an asylum in your Persia? So Tamashp is going to say, all right, yes, you can get asylum in my Persia. However, there are certain conditions. Now, in those conditions, Shah Tamashp is going to say to the Humayun that firstly you need to accept the Shia faith. Okay, so in the Islam there is Sunni and then there is Shia. Okay, so there are two faiths that are there, means two divisions in the Islam. So the Mughals, they were generally considered to be the Sunnis. So at that point of time, here he is going to adapt to the faith of Shia. Okay, he's going to adapt to the faith of Shia, and that is when he's going to go to the court of Shah Tamash. So from 1542 till 1555, Humayun is going to stay in the court of Shah Tamash. Okay, so for together means from 1540 to 1555, when Humayun was not there in the Indian subcontinent, for 2 years he was there. He was there in the court of King Virasal, and for another years, okay, for another years, that is for 13 years, he is going to be in the court of Shah Tamash. Now, when he is there in the court of Shah Tamash for 13 years, obviously he is going to have that influence from Shah Tamash, that whatever, society, culture, and everything is going to be there in the particular Persia area, he is going to be influenced from that particular area. So when he is influenced from that area, okay, and by the time period of 1555, even Humayun is realizing that now is the time that with the help of Shah Tamash, with the help of the army of the Shah Tamash, and innovations from Shah Tamash, what he can do is he can re-attack India. And at that point of time, who was ruling India? So during this point of time, there was the empire, Sur Empire, that was ruling India, and it is going to be Sher Shah Suri. Okay, now Sher Shah Suri is not going to rule for the whole time. Sher Shah Suri, he ruled from 1540 to 1545 only. However, he passed away in 1545, and after that, there were his lineage that was ruling. So by 1555, Humayun, he is going to decide to come back from Persia to the Indian subcontinent. And when he is deciding to come back, at that point of time, the ruler of the Sur Empire, he is getting to know that Humayun is coming back. So Sur Empire did not want Humayun to come back. Why? Because otherwise Humayun will have the claim on the throne of Delhi. So that is why the Sur Empire ruler, okay, he is going to meet the Humayun in the area of Lahore. Okay, in the area of Lahore, and these two are going to fight a battle in the area of Lahore, and the Sur Empire is going to be defeated in Lahore. Okay, that is the Battle of Lahore. So year after the Sur Empire was defeated in 1555, Humayun is going to re-establish his particular dynasty in India, and that is the Mughal Empire. If Humayun hadn't come back, the Mughal Empire wouldn't have been there, and there would have only been the Sur Empire. But Humayun came back; he won. That is why here there is another. Again there was the re-establishment of the Mughal Empire. Okay. However, within a few months, from 1555 to 1556, what is going to happen? Within a few months, he is going to fall from the steps of his library. Okay, he is going to fall from the steps of his library, and because of this particular fall, what is going to happen? He's going to pass away. He's going to die. And here this becomes important for your examinations, that any SSC, railways, group D, group examination, they will ask you that the rulers, the Islamic rulers, all the Mughal rulers, how did they die? Is it going to be by falling off the stairs? Is it going to be through their gun? Is it going to be through a cannon? Is it going to be through a dysentery? So they will basically ask you a match the following in that particular context. So you need to be aware of that aspect as well. Okay, so here, now during this brief time period that Humayun was there in the court of Persia, okay, I'll just make it another page. Now, during the during the brief time, that is from 1542 till 1555, when Humayun was there in the area of Persia. So during this point of time, obviously he is going to be influenced from Persia. Okay, I'll I'll come back to that. So here, what is there is that during this point of time, for nearly 13 years, okay, for nearly 13 years, what is going to happen is this person, he's going to be there in Persia. So obviously, he's going to be influenced from the traditions of Persia. Okay, so as soon as Humayun comes back to India, so this influence, it can be seen in architecture, okay, in the architectural front and in the paintings front. Okay, sorry, in the architectural front and in the paintings front. Okay, now what in the architectural front can we see? So during when he comes to India, Humayun, now see, if I talk about the architecture under the Humayun, now this is something that I have already added in the PDF that I had provided you yesterday. So here, when I'm talking about the architecture under Humayun, so what do we know about Humayun's architecture is, firstly is that he is going to have two phases of his rule. One is 1530 to 1540, and then 1555 to 56. Now during this phase, what is Humayun doing is that Humayun is majorly fighting wars. Okay, Humayun is associated with wars, so he's not going to have that much of time to construct any particular major architecture. However, during this point of time, he's going to construct certain gardens. Okay, certain gardens in the Kashmir area, his Jammu and Kashmir area, he's going to construct some gardens. Then he's going to construct a few mosques, okay, within his empire. And then finally he's going to start constructing a new city, a new city of Din Pana. Okay, he is also going to start constructing the new city of Din Pana, but he did not have that much of time to complete it, so it was not fully completed, not completed. At this point of time, what is going to happen is the Sur Empire is going to take the area, and when Sur Empire takes the area, Sur Empire, it is going to destroy the city of Din Pana. Okay, and this, so more or less, this was the architectural development that he's going to do, and he's not going to have that much of time to do any. So by the time period of 1555-56, when Humayun is coming in India, here once again he's not going to have that much of time, because he's passing away in a few months only, as soon as he's going to re-establish the Mughal Empire in India. And how is he passing away? He is going to construct a library, and on that library, when he was there on the above floor, when he was coming down, his legs are going to entangle, his legs are going to get entangled in the ropes, and after that he's going to fall down, and because of that falling down, he is going to die. Okay, so that is how he's going to die, and because he's not going to have that much of time, he is not going to support the architecture in the second stage. However, here in the paintings segment, when he is coming from the Persia, he is going to, along with him, he is going to bring two painters, okay, two major painters who were there in the court of Shah Tamash. It is going to be Abdus Abdus Samad, and the another is going to be Mir Sayyid Mir Sayyid Ali. So you need to remember them. Now these were Persian painters. So obviously, when Persian painters are going to come, so the Persian painters, they are going to influence the Persian paintings that are going to be there in the Mughal court. Okay. So as soon as he is going to pass away in 1556, after that another ruler is going to take the area, and that is going to be Akbar. Okay, another person is going to take the area, and that is going to be Akbar. Okay, now in 1556 itself, did you understand, guys? Whatever we have understood, did you understand up till now? Did you understand what we did up till now? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Yes, thank you. So then what is going to happen is, see, when Akbar, he's going to become the ruler in 1556. Okay, if I show it to you through a map. All right, so otherwise I'll just discuss it like that only. When Akbar, he's going to become the ruler in 1556, that means at the death of at the death of Jahangir, he was there in the area of Delhi. But at that point of time, when, sorry, the Humayun, not Jahangir, Humayun. At that point of time, Humayun was there in the area of Delhi in 1556, where he passed away. And simultaneously, his son Akbar was in the area of Pakistan at that point of time. So, as soon as Humayun is passing away, and Akbar was not there with Humayun, but Akbar was very much far away at that point of time. So automatically Akbar became the next ruler of the Mughal Empire. But because he was not there present in Delhi, and Delhi was left without a king at that point of time, another person known as Raja Hemchandra, who was a close aide of the Afghans, that means of the Sher Shah's dynasty, he was a very much close aide. So that particular Raja Hemchandra or Hemu, he is also referred to as Hemu. Hemu, he is going to take the area of Delhi. Okay. So Hemu is going to take the area of Delhi. So if I just write it here, okay, that year in 1556, okay, akbar akbar became the next emperor. And because Akbar became the next emperor, but he was not there present in the Delhi area, and because of that Delhi, it was taken control by Delhi taken in control by Raja Hemchandra or Raja Hemu. Hemu, he was considered to be a close aide of Afghans. Afghans means the Afghans, they were of Bihar area. Okay, that means the particular Sher Suri or the Suri dynasty. So that is why Akbar, because he did not have control of any area, okay, Akbar was then known as the ruler of no man's land. Akbar was known as the ruler of no man's land. Why? Because Delhi, it was taken under control by the Raja Hemu. Okay. At that point of time, Akbar, he had a regent. Okay, Akbar had a protector, and that particular protector was known as Bairam Khan. Bairam Khan. Now, what does Bairam Khan do is he knows that Raja Hemu or Hemu has taken control of the Delhi area. So Bairam Khan is taking Akbar and is marching towards Delhi. When he's marching towards Delhi, there, there in the mid area only, in the mid area itself, Hemu is going to meet the Bairam Khan in the battlefield of Panipat. In between only, Hemu, he's coming to know that Bairam Khan along with Akbar is marching towards Delhi. So they are going to meet in the center point, that is Panipat, in the battleground of Panipat. And when they are meeting in the battleground of Panipat, so then there is going to be the second battle of Panipat in 1556. It is going to be fought. And between whom is it going to be fought? Between Akbar, okay, Akbar and his protector Bairam Khan in opposite to Hemu. And in this particular battle, Hemu is going to be defeated. Hemu is defeated, and Akbar, he regains the throne of Delhi. So in 1556, Akbar becomes the ruler or the emperor of Delhi and the Mughal Empire. So when this happens, okay, because Akbar, he was of very young age at that point of time. Akbar, he did not have that capability to rule. So because he did not have that capability to rule, so from the time period of 1556, okay, till 1560, Akbar, because he was young, he could not rule. So this time period, it is known as the regents regents rule. Regents rule. And in this regent's rule, the Bairam Khan was ruling. Bairam Khan was ruling. Now you might wonder that what do we understand by regent's rule? So regent's rule is basically a rule wherein the actual king is young and does not have that much of brains to rule the area. So there is a elder person who is going to rule in the name of the young person. And at that point of time, because Akbar was young, Bairam Khan is going to rule in the name of Akbar. So for nearly 4 years, Bairam Khan is going to rule, and he is going to take the administration in his hands. However, because of the growing rivalry against Bairam Khan, okay, many people, they wanted to take power, they wanted to take the control of Mughal empire. So various conspiracies were started against Bairam Khan, and one of that conspiracy to remove Bairam Khan was successful. And in that conspiracy, Akbar, he is going to decide to remove Bairam Khan, and he is going to tell him that now I am old enough to take care of my own dynasty. So Bairam Khan, you need to take care of the dynasty, and I am going to send you to Hajj. Means basically Bairam Khan was given two options. Either Akbar would give him a particular province, and Bairam Khan could rule that particular province under the name of Akbar, or either Bairam Khan could go travel for the Hajj yatra, okay, of the Mecca and Medina. So here Bairam Khan, he is refusing to take the administrative position, and he is declaring that he will go for the Hajj yatra. However, in the midway only, the Bairam Khan, he was assassinated by his enemies, and after that assassination, okay, the things were ended. But this does not mean that there was no rule after that. Means then there was one another woman, okay, that is from 1560 to 1562. This particular time period, there was one another woman who was known as the Maham Anga. Maham Anga. Now this Maham Anga, she started to get her influence on Akbar, and she started influencing Akbar in taking majority of his decisions. Because of this influence, this particular time period of 1560 to 62, it was known as the petticoat petticoat government or petticoat rule. Okay, it was known as that. Why? Because in the name Akbar was ruling, but in reality Maham Anga was influencing Akbar. However, by the time period of 1562, Akbar is getting to know that Maham Anga is also not good, and she is also hatching conspiracies. At that point of time, Akbar, he is going to take the decision that from now onwards, I am only going to be the person who is going to be ruling. Okay. Now, during this tenure, during this tenure, when Akbar, he is becoming of that age, okay, and means till 1562, and after 1562 as well, Akbar, what he is going to do is, Akbar, he is going to initiate the aspect of expansion. Okay, Akbar, he wants to expand his particular territory. So when he is expanding his territory, at that point of time, okay, when he is expanding his territory, I'll just make a new map only. When Akbar, he is expanding his territory, what happens is that Akbar has Delhi, but here there was the Rajputana. Okay, so what Akbar does is that Akbar, he had very great respect for the Rajputana, because it was because of a Rajputana ruler that he got birth. Okay, and they were given asylum. So that is why Akbar, he is going to expand. He is going to fight wars in the other areas, and he is going to expand. But for the Rajputana, he is going to tell that he will not fight a war, and the Rajput people, they if the Rajput people agree to come under the suzerainty of the Akbar and tell that Akbar is the emperor, so then Akbar will not fight a war and will let them rule in autonomy under the name of Akbar. Some of the rulers, they are going to accept this, but some are not going to accept this, and one of them is going to be the, you might know the name, Maharana Pratap. Okay, one of those people are going to be Maharana Pratap, who is not going to accept the particular claim. Okay, and they are going to fight a war. Okay, so that is the battle that was fought between Maharana Pratap and the Akbar. It is going to be known as the Battle of Haldi Ghati. Battle of Haldi Ghati. However, some or majority of the Rajputs, they are going to they are going to accept that fact. And at that point of time, after the battle of Haldi Ghati, Akbar, he had understood one thing, that the Rajputs are the only power that can actually defeat the Mughals at that point of time. So Akbar, and there were various other parameters also. Akbar, he is going to come up with a new policy, and that policy, it is going to be known as the Rajput policy. Rajput policy. Now, as per this policy, what did Akbar do is, Akbar, he started to include these Rajputs in his court. Akbar gave them important positions of military general, of ministers, and these positions, so that these Rajputs, they could be aligned with the Mughals. Okay, so this was the Rajput policy that was adopted to integrate the Rajputs and the Mughals, so that they do not fight each other. Okay, so it was started by Akbar, and it was also for the reason that Akbar, he was protected by King Virasal, and even the Humayun had told Akbar that Rajputs, they needed to be treated with dignity, because they had a lot of dignity with them. They have a lot of dignity with them. Okay, so that was one another thing. But for the other areas, he is going to expand. Okay, he is going to expand. So these are some things about the Akbar. Mm, okay, yes. So these are some things. Guys, just take. Did you understand? Did you understand what we did today? Did you understand? Okay. Just take 5 minutes and read these pages. I've already uploaded it. Just find it uploaded. Just read Babur, Humayun. Leave the Sur Empire. We'll discuss the Sur Empire tomorrow. Read Babur, Humayun, and this page of Akbar. The first page of Akbar. Okay, this is Akbar. So just read the first page of Akbar. Read Babur, Humayun, and Akbar. Which final? Yet Akbar is remaining. We are going to discuss Akbar. Akbar is very much long. Okay, so we'll discuss Akbar tomorrow. Okay, so yet it is remaining. I That is why I left it here only. And here in the acha, you are talking about the Battle of Haldi Ghati. Okay. So now see, in the Battle of Haldigati, what we can understand is, there are, a lot of controversies here, that some are going to say Akbar is going to win, but the local traditions of Rajasthan, they are going to say that Maharana Pratap never lost. Maharana Pratap is going to defeat Akbar. Why? Because the Maharana of Mewar, okay, he was so powerful. He was so powerful that it is said that he wore the particular vest, the steel vest, and all that armor of nearly 80 to 90 kgs, and he had so much power within his arm, that He had so much of power within his arms that with one stroke of his sword he cut he cut a Muslim commander along with his horse in half with one stroke of his sword. That was the power of Maharana. But here, if we talk about the history, okay, if we talk about the history books, it is said that Maharana Pratap lost the battle, okay, and however he was not killed. His horse, he took him away from the battlefield, and there Maharana Pratap is said to have lost his life, okay. This is the understanding, but in local traditions it is said that Maharana never lost. Maharana let Akbar win, and apart from that Akbar never won. Akbar was someone who had lost in the battle, and Akbar fled from the battleground. Okay, so there are various theories that are understood from this particular chapter. Okay, there are various theories. So that is it, and the remaining ones, then we shall talk about it tomorrow. Okay, we shall discuss about it tomorrow. Okay, did you understand? Just read this up. Just read this up. Okay. Otherwise, you read it up and then you let me know whatever doubts you have tomorrow. Okay, we'll do that. Will that work for you? Will that work for you guys? Okay, all right. Yes, and Swati, you had a particular doubt. This course is going to be conducted till May, but exams might be held in March or April. Yes, so if the exams would be held now, see, as of now, and if it will be, once the dates are out accordingly, then we'll look into something that what we can do for it. Okay, so that is something that we'll be looking into it. Okay, like that. All right. Okay, so then we'll end the session here itself. All right. So, with this, thank you everybody. Jai Hind, and take care of yourselves. Study well, read the document, and let me know whatever doubts you have tomorrow. Okay. So, take care, guys, and good luck.